Welcome back to News Talk. We are now 7 weeks until Memorial Day and the unofficial start of summer. That means there is still time to improve how you will look in a bathing suit on the beach this summertime season. In today's Friday Focus on You, some advice from personal trainer Joseph Brandenburg. He's with True 180 Fitness in the district, a contributor to WTOP.com, part of our Friday Focus on You rotation. Welcome back. Good to have you here.
Great to be back.
From the first of the year, when you see people come through the door for the first time with the New Year's resolutions to get in shape, through probably right about now, when it all sort of hits that we're going to be on the beach in a bathing suit, not too far from now. It's a common idea. Let's use the time we have to get in better shape. Obviously, people come through the door in all different shapes, but what's the general sort of approach that you take when that is a goal that someone brings to the gym?
When someone's coming in, usually I would say 90% of the time, the most important thing or the kind of the biggest thing that people want to accomplish between now and Memorial Day is going to be some kind of fat loss goal. Not too many people come in, hey, I'm underweight, or
right.
I feel too skinny if I take off my shirt. Happens every once in a while, but not very often. So fat loss is going to be the primary sort of target for most people to help them feel more comfortable. So there's a couple of different things that we're going to do. Really, it's pretty simple. It's going to come down to eating better and exercising on a regular basis. And then it's just going to be using this time that we have very wisely between now and the next 7 weeks.
From an exercise perspective, and I thought we might break it down in terms of exercise, food, and then just sort of the mental discipline that's required to be working out and exercising and good on your food in a disciplined way.
Right.
Let's talk about exercise first. Does your recommendation for the typical person typically include a cardio element and a weightlifting, weight training element?
It does, and I kind of want to back up just a tiny bit for the mental aspect of it. Is you got to know yourself also when you're coming in. So if you're coming in and you're coming off the couch, you don't really do anything on a consistent basis right now. You want to be kind of realistic about your goals for 7 weeks, because of course I could give you something incredibly difficult to do where you completely change everything about how you eat and have you work out every single day. We can attempt to do that for the next 7 weeks, but I'll tell you the failure rate for that is extremely high.
Okay.
Most people won't even last the 7 weeks, and it's not because they're bad people or there's anything wrong with them character-wise. It's just simply that that level of massive change in your life when you have career, you have family, you have home, you have other stuff to do.
Time limitations.
It's just, yeah, I mean, that's something people in their 20s, early 20s can do, but once you get, older, you have more responsibilities, it's very difficult to make that sort of wholesale change. So you got to know yourself.
How do you incorporate that into, because I know you want the plan that people can go the distance with. So how do you get the most you can out of what is for many people a limitation in terms of their time?
So I mean, basically just we look at where are you right now, and we're going to work backwards. How much time can you give me in a week? Now, I will say, if you can't give me at least 2 hours a week, there's not a whole lot I can do for you. So 2 hours a week, that's kind of bare bones. 3 hours a week, we can get some great stuff done. 4 hours a week, we can do some really wonderful stuff. If someone is just starting out, I usually discourage them from trying to do more than 4 hours a week, because it's just too much of a change to your schedule, because everything sounds easier, like in theory, like saying, oh yeah, I'm going to work out 4 hours a week. It doesn't sound crazy, but actually getting that done week in and week out is very hard.
But 3 is a nice sweet spot,
yes,
maybe,
absolutely.
if you can find the time, because it's basically every other day with a bonus day. For me,
absolutely.
It's Monday. And it's still, from what I hear you saying, an opportunity to really make some noticeable progress. And
absolutely.
Noticeable progress is nice because it's it's an encouragement, right? You see that you're moving in the right direction. It's energy that propels you further down the road.
Yeah, absolutely. So in terms of if we got 3 hours a week, then we're going to spend roughly maybe 10 minutes of each of those hours doing some sort of mobility work. We want to make sure that after we're sitting at a desk that we do something to loosen up the hips and the shoulders so we can have a safer and more effective workout. Then we're going to spend probably the next 30 to 40 minutes on strength training, because that is going to have the biggest impact on your fat loss and how you look when you take off your shirt when you go to the beach. And then the last 10 minutes or so is going to be some sort of high intensity interval training. So we'll make sure that we address mobility, we address strength, and we address our conditioning, our cardiovascular fitness as well.
And in terms of food, eating as much of the right stuff as possible, and limiting to the extent that you can the things that only add to the excess poundage. What works? What for the people you've been working with over a long period of time, what works most?
So there, I mean, kind of, you know, the best diet is the diet. I hate that word, but because most people look at it as it's a short-term thing that I'm going to stop doing so that I can regain everything and then some. But the best sort of nutrition program is something that you can stick with, because if you can't keep it up, you can't keep it off. Very simple for most people for weight loss: 3 meals, no snacking per day. We live in an environment that's pretty much designed to increase what the food industry calls your stomach share. Basically, they are competing for a share of your stomach. In order for them to grow their revenue, they must grow you, so they must get more into you. So we live in an environment where we're sort of constantly stimulated, and I think we think that we're hungry when we're not. So 3 meals, no snacks, protein, fruit, vegetable. It's pretty simple.
3 meals, no snacking, and if you can't keep it up, meaning the program, then you can't keep it off, meaning the weight.
Exactly. And if you start with like fixing one meal, get that down for a couple of weeks, then fix another meal, and then fix another meal.
Joseph Brandenburg, part of True Fitness, True 180 Fitness Downtown, part of our Friday Focus on You rotation. Thank you, sir. We will see you next month. That wraps up the show for this time. We're back Monday at 11. Hope you can join us then. In the meantime, I'm Bruce DePuyt. Thanks for watching. Have a great weekend.